Okay, so today I've decided, if you're wondering about the mask, I can't find it, so it's wearing my face covering. Yes, it's just covered in paint, don't worry. So today I've decided to talk about Pauper Burn. Now there's two main types of Pauper Burn decks. There's Rakdos, Black Red, and Mono Red Burn. So just in case you didn't see my last video, Pauper is all about my common cards. So you can play, it's a non-rotating format, so you can play anything from 1993 to now. So you got things like Lightning Bolt, which does 3 damage for 1 red mana. So I'm a big player. This is actually my Rakdos build. So there's pros and cons to both. For example, mono red is less creature pack and more constant burn spells, stuff like Lightning Bolts, Shocks, and Fiery Blast, which you sacrifice 2 mountains and you can do 4 damage. So that includes tapped mountains instead of activating its cost, because it costs 1 red and 4 colorless. Whilst I am a Rakdos player, so my main thing is grab prizes, cards you can tap and untap, or cards that do burn damage, and then having a lot of cards that have madness. So my main philosophy is use, for example, play a card, Goblin, Gremlin something. I'll look it up whilst we're talking. You can tap it for 1 red. You can tap it and deal 1 damage. So, and then its abilities, you can untap it for you can untap it when another creature is 1 second. Let me find the card so I can get the actual name. Thank you, sorry about that. So it's Ballaster Sprite Gremlin. I'll show you the artwork. So you can pay 1, deal 1 damage to each opponent. When you play a non-creature spell and tap it. 2 cards that I find very useful to do the same thing is Firebrand Archer and Kessig Fire Blast. So these 2 cards, when you activate a non-creature spell, you deal 1 damage to an opponent. That's played in both Rakdos and the Mono Red Burn. Other cards that are played in both are Thermo Alchemist. This is the rare version, but there isn't a common version, so that means you can play it. It's a defender, it's a 0/3, it costs 2. You can tap it to deal 1 damage to an opponent, so you don't have to pay. And when you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you untap it. So my main plan is to get some of these out, and then use something like Grab a Prize or Faithless Looting or stuff like that to discard certain cards, so then tap them or activate their abilities. So cards I like to discard are, sorry about that, what's it, Electro's Bolt, sorry my cat, so because it has Madness, Mayhem, and then since I play Rakdos, I have a lot of black cards, so I play Twins of the Murder Estate. Sorry about my cat being in the video there, he likes saying hello. It has Madness, so instead of putting it into the grave when I discard it, I put it into exile, and you pay its exile cost to deal damage. So there's pros and cons to both. For example, Mono Red, we'll talk about it first. In Pauper, if you're playing against like a token deck or a creatures matter deck or a deck where they can get a lot of creatures out and deal a lot of fast damage, or some elf decks, it can be hard, and also you have to worry about getting enough card recursion. Whilst with my Rakdos build, you have a lot more creatures, but not enough. But that means you have less like cards for like Lightning Strike, Lightning Bolt, stuff like that. So you have to really find a happy medium. I think there's a few more upgrades I need to make. I need to get more archers and Kelsigs in my deck, and maybe another one. But cards that I've really started to enjoy from the Spider-Man set, ironically enough, are cards such as this one, because it says discard, so I can discard cards, pay it back for its madness, and then get the advantage out of that. I do play a couple one-offs. There's a card from Ixalan that lets you, it's like grab a prize, except it doesn't deal damage, and it says discard 2 cards to draw 3. So a lot of my deck is like you have to pay to do things. In my sideboard, I have, it's mostly utility cards, and let me find it. I have one card that's a bit different. It is a lesson from Strixhaven. Exile target non-land permanent, his controller draws a card. So that could be, I use that, it's one of my main sources of like advantage. And another card that I have one of is Cecil the Storm. So for each instant sorcery in your grave, you deal, it gets a +1/+1, becomes a creature and has flashback. And another card, if you're playing black, mono black, blue black, Gruul, anything like that, I'd recommend is Duress. So for 1 black, you can look into your opponent's hand and make them discard a non-land permanent. So I personally prefer playing the Rakdos build. I feel like with the creatures you got more of a push. But let me know down in the comments, what's your favorite Pauper deck? And do you prefer mono red burn or Rakdos burn?